YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV.
Tim Westwood was with us the night that Nas dropped off the Ether diss song of Jay-Z.
The reply version to the takeover.
Yes, he did the reply to the takeover. Nas dropped it off. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, yes. So keep in mind it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but for Tim Westwood, it's 7 o'clock in the morning.
We're rolling.
So he's up. He's ready. They drop it off. Flex calls me, Big Dennis, Tim Westwood, and I think somebody else was there. He was like,
Fat Joe.
Huh?
Fat Joe was there.
Fat Joe. And he says, listen to this song. Everybody is in there like, wow, wow, wow.
We're all coming to the station, baby, for this big moment in the game.
Right. The next day, Flex started with Angie Martinez and he played the song. He stopped New York City, period. Flex always had the power to stop the city, period. So Flex and Angie Martinez, they stopped the city, period. That's what it is. He was asking people whose verse was better. Was it Jay-Z's song or was it Nas's song? Him and K-Slay, Flex and K-Slay started asking everybody, and everybody was coming to the station. It was a big moment for about 8 hours to shut the station down.
Never seen anything like it before,
seen anything like it.
First time ever. New York.
They asked me whose verse was better.
And you had to call it.
I said the Nas verse was better.
You had to call it, baby.
I'm gonna tell you something. To be honest with you, it was probably one of the major mistakes that I made in my life. I should have never said nothing. Because after that, I couldn't get Jay-Z to open a shell for me. I couldn't get him to do a drop. Keep in mind, Jay-Z in the early days of Jay-Z, my intern Garnett Reed was his promoter.
Exactly.
And my man did Can't Knock the Hustle. So man, I got the only promo that Jay-Z ever wrote for anybody. He did a radio promo for me for the overnights. I don't know nobody else who Jay-Z wrote a rhyme for that on the radio, but that's another story. Westwood comes in the room and Flex and K-Slay say, all right, Westwood, what's going on? Whose verse is better? Tim Westwood must have spent about 10 minutes doing the Barack Obama. He was going around there and he said, yo, they're both hot. The streets want it. It was just a bunch of open-ended remarks. Oh, the streets want it. They love it. It's hot out there. This is what they both do. So we were like, yo, well, okay, well, who's hotter? The streets are going to decide. Yo, let the streets tell us.
A.K.A. the Westwood Shuffle, A.K.A. the Timmy Tap Dance. Smashed it down in NYC, kid. I shut the city with that.
And you want to know something? The smart thing was he kept both of his relationships and he slid it out of there like a snake. He just moved on out of there. Me, I couldn't talk to Jay-Z for 4 years. Him, he's good with everybody to this day.
Now, and let me tell you the power of that. The next day, I was down Foot Locker down 34. Go in there, yo, Air Force One's 11.5, yeah, you good? Cat goes, yo, are you that dude, the English dude, off the radio? Powerful. Now, what is your take on the new Jay-Z and Kanye West collaboration?
The whole Otis thing? You know, I like it. I think that Jay-Z and Kanye West are both incredible artists. I actually was there to see them both from the inception to where they are now. And you know, Jay-Z was one of the first people that I had ever seen that I physically saw was what he said he was. Like, when dudes say, yo, I'm a drug dealer, you know, a lot of that stuff is marketing. My man produced one of his first records, Can't Knock the Hustle. And I'll never forget, Jay-Z and those guys came to the studio to pay for the record in a sneaker box full of 1s and 5s. Now, I'm smart enough to know, because I'm from the streets. I'm not from the streets, I'm of the streets. I'm from Harlem. You know, I've been in the streets all my life. I'm not a gangster, not a hustler, not a killer, but I am of the streets. I know what's what. When you come to me with 5s and 1s.
Exactly. You are working in a news agent.
Yeah, right. You are working in the underground. So to see that man come from where he started to $500 million to me is incredible, and also it's inspiring. You know, Kanye West, again, another guy that I saw from the beginning. Like, I have footage of Kanye West when, you know, I was like one of the first people to go to his house and film him.
Oh, for real?
And the
that was Fatman TV.
Yeah,
Fatman
the Kanye
TV.
West back then wasn't the Kanye West now. He was first coming up. People weren't really recognizing him for his stuff. I remember he was talking about, like, you know, getting on people's songs and people taking them off the song. We just want the beat.
Yeah.
And that's why Kanye West is the way he is today, because he went through so much stuff.
Yes.
That when he finally got there, people believed him. It was like, you got to pay me. You have to pay me. You have to pay me. You have to respect my talent. And you know, that's with everybody. That's with anybody.
Now, on the subject of reminiscing, before we get into the next record, I remember the first record you did, and you brought it up. You was working up on 97. You played it to Flex, because you used to take over from Flex at 12 midnight.
Yes.
And it was, I believe it was on the Busta Rhymes beat.
Yes, it was.
And you played the record, and Flex critiqued the record.
Yes, he did.
And he said, do you remember this story? Do you remember this moment?
I clearly remember that.
Okay,
I can guarantee you what...
All right, let me tell you what he said. He said you were on it too much.
Right.
And Flex was proved wrong.
Here, let me even take it one step back. And Kat, I got all the emails, Kat. Hey, I understand what's going on. I understand what this radio station is. I'm going to keep it the way you want me to. I love you, Kat, for having me on. Thank you. Let's start with that record. Flex told me that saying Fatman Scoop Clan was stupid.
Oh, for real? Oh.
He said it was stupid. But then that became my signature phrase.
Oh my God.
He came back to me, Flex came back to me, he said, you know something? When I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
He told me he called it wrong.
Yeah, he said I called it wrong. He said I called it wrong. He said I looked at it like, you know, you were just trying to be like a DJ Cool or whatever, like a DJ Cool actor like or whatever. I give it up. And the bottom line was, I was trying to do that because at the time,
that's what it was.
I come up through. I was mentored by Dougie Fresh. Dougie Fresh, if you don't know who Dougie Fresh is, go Google him. He's the greatest entertainer. He's one of the greatest hype men ever. I had a situation where my brother Kendall had to go to university, and the university was like $40,000 a year. And I heard this record by DJ Cool, Let Me Clear My Throat, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on, that's crowd participation. Dougie Fresh taught me how to do that. Exactly. And I tried to go do my own record, and it didn't work. And Flex was playing this song, Is New York in the House right now?
Exactly.
And it was, you know, at the end of the record, it was like DJ Scissor Hands, Crooklyn Clan, DJ Riz, Crooklyn Clan, and I asked Flex, who's DJ Riz? He said, oh, that's DJ Riz. Now, I knew DJ Riz from being a record promoter and
a hot DJ.
Yeah, and a hot DJ and stuff. So I went to...
He actually taught Cypher how to DJ.
Yes, he did. And I went to Riz and I said, Riz, I want to do one of these records. They brought me over to their house in Brooklyn and they asked me to yell. I had never yelled before. I had never done nothing like that. And they said, just yell, hands up. And I'll never forget, it was in front of a church. And I just said, hands up. Now put your hands up. What? Hands up. And when I said that, DJ Scissorhands went berserk. He said, come back tomorrow, we're going to make a record. Now, I'm going to say this, and it may wind up in the Negro Please column in the XXL magazine, but I'm going to say this. And I feel this in my heart, and to me, it's the truth. Nobody except Busta Rhymes, because Busta Rhymes made the record, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See. He made that record. But when it comes to saying hands up, get your hands up, all the stuff you hear by everybody, Beyonce, anybody you can think about, 50, anybody in the world saying put your hands in the air, hands up, I don't care what nobody says. Me, Scissorhands, and Riz, we are the ones who created that whole lane. Because nobody was doing it really before us. Nobody was talking about hands up. Another thing, when I did the record for Puffy, when I did the record Love Like This, I took the record to Puff. I never forget it. Puff used to be at Bad Boy Records.
Yes, absolutely.
And remember, Puff was on fire at that time.
Oh, on fire.
He was on fire, okay?
Faith was going to be the new Mary J.
Oh, okay, there you go. So I bring it in to him, and I say, yo, Puff, I want to use this record as a break beat. You know, I just want your okay on it, everything. I'll never forget, Puff was sitting behind this big desk he had, and in the desk it was like glass, but it was like diamonds.
Oh, he was balling.
Yeah, he was balling. He was killing them. He was killing them.
That little Manhattan office of his
Puff was killing them. And I never forget, it was the old two-ways. It wasn't even Blackberries, nothing. He was listening to the song, and he was on his BlackBerry. He was like kind of ignoring me. He's like, I said, what do you think about the record?
Baby,
he said, oh, the record's okay. It's cool. Whatever. You know how Puff could be like.
Oh, tell
you know, he could be like, you know.
Oh, gangster.
Yeah, he'll psych you out.
Oh yeah, he will definitely handle you.
Listen, he'll handle you. Exactly. That's the word. He'll handle you.
He will roast you.
He'll sun you. Puff will sun you.
Sunning,
and guess what? Guess what? Puff has done enough in this industry where he can sun you.
Oh yeah.
Okay? He can sun you.
With pleasure.
So anyway, I
Take
walk
the
out.
sunning.
I walk out
Take
of the room.
L with respect.
Exactly. I walk out of the room, and I feel like the record is an absolute disaster. But I go ahead and I put the record out.
AV8, baby.
AV8. Maybe 5 weeks later, in the middle of the night, I get a phone call, and I hear somebody yelling, yo, this record's crazy! It's crazy! Yeah! I said, who's this? Yo, it's Puff! Yo, it's Puff! This is crazy! Because the record's now playing in the club. Everybody's going berserk. So Puff comes back to me later. He's like, yo, man, you know, I wasn't really paying attention to it. And hey, I do that all the time. There are records that I miss all the time. There are people who send me their music that I don't even pay attention to it sometimes because I'm so busy. But you know something? A hit is a hit, and if I ignored somebody's record and it becomes a hit, I will bow down and recognize.
Exactly. YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV.